This, by the way, this is me when I was underwriting, and I found out that that one open condition that's been there the whole time couldn't be satisfied. And yet they had me do everything else as if that loan was going to close, and hoping maybe I would just waive that one at the very end, right? So here's our good friend Encompass. This looks a bit familiar, hopefully to a lot of you. And what we're just doing here is a standard flow. So this is just a requesting documents from the borrower, so just triggering off that request for some income and asset documentation you want to get back. It's the same flow you would do today. Many of you are doing. You're going to move on. You're going to send out those initial disclosure packages to the consumer. They're going to get them either through the Consumer Connect or whatever portal you may be leveraging. And so now you go into your e-folder and you have a ton of documents, right? You have the disclosures that went out. You have the things that you've requested. Here you may be retrieving some of those documents back in. So you're seeing them now in your e-folder. It's getting a lot larger. Now you've had an opportunity. You're going to run and trigger your analyzer, or AIQ. AIQ, you're going to come in, you're going to see that same list of all your documents, but it's broken down, right? It's each individual document, not necessarily just the collection. I need to pause here. Oh, I think I did. All right. Now here what we have, and it's hard to see, I know it's a little bit of an eyesore, but trust me when I say we have a document that's been misidentified. Never happens, right? Never, ever, ever. So here, the user, while they have that Encompass loan file open, and they're also able to be in AIQ at the same time, they can come in here and they can change the name of that document, they can correct it. And when they close that and they go back into Encompass, they're actually going to get a new green toast notification that's going to say file's been updated. And now when I go to the e-folder, I'm going to see the same name for that document as I saw when I was in AIQ. So we've brought that kind of interoperability together between the systems. Even just something simple like being able to have both open at the same time, right? All right, so back in the e-folder, we see our documents again. There's that toast notification, that little green notification right there saying that there's been an update to the e-folder. Now let's move on and talk a little bit about conditions. If you're using enhanced conditions, and for those of you that are not, I hope you'll give us an opportunity to explore those and see just what you can do with them. I'm going to make a quick just note about enhanced conditions. If I can pause this, stay. Good condition. Okay. When you think about what we can do now, when you've got advanced OCR and data extraction tied to automation and workflows that can do things like automate conditions being added to a loan, already identify which documents you expect to be associated with a given condition, we had to make a change to the way that we address conditions today. Many of you have found ways to work around it, but the Encompass conditions were very static, very retail oriented. You know, you've got 3 types of conditions, and it's always those 3 types, and you have to work within those constraints. And your different attributes kind of vary from one type of condition type to another type of condition type. It's a little inconsistent. And you know, there's not a lot there from an attribute space. It's been very steady. It's been able to get a lot done for a long time, but we needed to build a new foundation to do more. So with enhanced conditions, if you want to leave those same number and the same type of condition types you have today, you absolutely can. If you want to reduce them and only have 2 instead of 3, you can. If you want to expand them, and you want to say, hey, I'm going to have a set that's for correspondent, and here's my non-del that's going to be different from my del, you can have as many condition types as you want to have now. The attributes across the conditions are now normalized. You have control over what kind of enumerations you see. So if you want to use your own statuses, you can do that. And you can choose which condition types have those attributes and what the values of those attributes are. You now have the difference between an internal description and an external description. So I can have, here's the language that's going to print on, say, a conditional approval letter, but internally, I could be telling my users a little more information. Maybe it's guideline information, maybe it's a hyperlink to your guidelines, but more information that helps the internal user understand the condition. The whole intent is, touch that condition once, understand what it is you're looking for, be able to make sure the external description is going to help you get that, and have that bifurcated language.